before all of that, just so that she can prepare herself for that shock news, since January, Emmerdale fans will have seen long-running character Paddy Dingle suffer from depression. And for the last few years, our Stand By Your Men campaign has encouraged and supported men when it comes to opening up about mental health. So we sent loose man Jake Quickenden down to the Dales ahead of a special all-male episode.
Today I'm at the set of Emmerdale to meet some of the cast involved in a very special episode which sees the men in the village come together in the Woolpack to encourage each other to talk about their own mental health and rally around their friend Paddy, who has been battling depression for the past few months on screen.
This is the hardest thing I've ever had to write. I'm not strong enough anymore.
No, 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 no.
I have to make it stop.
I've been given special access for a look behind the scenes as the cameras roll on tonight's all-male episode. This centres around Paddy, played by Dominic Brunt, and I sat down with him to find out what impact he hopes his storyline will have. Thank you so much for meeting me here in the Village Cafe for a brew.
You're welcome.
I've actually got you a special present. I've got you a Loose Men cup.
Can I keep that?
You can keep that.
It's not just a prop
That's
you're going to give to everyone.
No. Cheers. So your character Paddy has been involved in some massive storylines over the years. How did you feel when they came to you with this storyline?
A huge sense of responsibility, I suppose. Very lucky that they're still writing for me. And I think it's only every decade or so that you kind of get given the responsibility of a storyline like this. I remember years ago we had the Aaron coming out episodes, and that seemed to transcend what soaps do. It was kind of educational and it had a moral purpose. And I remember a relative of mine that was not bigoted, but, you know, like generationally ignorant of that sort of thing. And he was going, I understood that. That made it human for me, that. And I was like, yes, job done. So I think this is on a par with that, we're trying to educate people and show them around the other side of the subject of being a man and not talking. The numbers of men committing suicide is unacceptable.
This makes it easier for everyone.
No, you've got.
What have I got? Has doing a storyline like this made you think about your own mental health?
Personally, I've always had strong mental fortitude. And I was a welder for years, and I was in the middle of many men that didn't talk, but it was full of what, I suppose, I hate the word, it was banter. Yeah. And then there was the pub at night, or football, or the release. I myself was actually a bricklayer, so I had that kind of male influence, but we never really spoke about anything serious. Ah, cool. You have that kind of thing. You have the chats, but it's never really important chats that you have. Yeah. Because you're all too kind of scared to be the one that opened it up, and I think people at home watching this, when somebody starts that conversation, it would be great. When it comes to mental health, it's often those closest to us that are affected, as well as being the ones that spot the signs. And in tonight's episode, it's Paddy's best friend Marlon and his dad Bear that will hopefully have a big impact. All right, Marlon, back again. That's why you brought me down.
I didn't want to miss out.
Miss out on what?
Well, come through, see for yourself.
A bit of a lock-in going on, lad, that's all.
Right, well, enjoy yourselves.
Oh, Paddy, give it a chance.
Matt, you play Paddy's best friend. How hard has it been for Marlon seeing Paddy go through what he's going through?
It's been horrendous and shocking. It's taken him. He knew that Paddy was in a dark place, but he didn't realise quite how far he'd gone. Whether he'll have the answers from, I don't know, because I don't know as much as friends might want to try and commit to that role. Sometimes it takes professional help to get people through that, and I don't know if Marlon's going to be the person who does it.
So this particular scene in the Woolpack, how did that come about, and how do you think that's going to help?
Well, so Marlon's arranged with Bear. Marlon's arranged this sort of like lock-in with the lads to get men talking, which is, as we all know, is a massive issue. We talk a good game, men, about talking with each other, but actually we're still quite restricted in our emotional outpouring. It's a beautiful script. It's just nice to hear men opening up to each other about the darkest things that have happened to them, and it's, even now it doesn't happen enough.
What's the impact that you want this to have on the people watching at home, on the men at home?
Talk about it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of changes in my life, and thank God they've all for the better, that people communicate better, that it's fine to talk about anything on the table now. In my time as a very young man, you couldn't.
Yeah,
Because British Reserve is still a thing.
That's
British
where we
Reserve is
are.
still there, but we are getting better. We're sort of massaging that out of our mindsets, and I think the more we do it, the more it'll be gone.
It's not just Paddy's mental health that will be the focus. Tonight we'll also see the so-called tougher men in the village open up, such as businessman Jimmy King, played by Nick Miles.
This kind of thing today, when men start actually opening up about their feelings, is a big thing for his character, because although he's become more emotionally honest recently, he doesn't talk as much as he should, and he doesn't even manage it today. It takes another day for Jimmy to come out of his shell.
Tony, men often find it hard to talk about their feelings, and why do you think that is, and why do you think it's maybe a bit more of a generational thing?
I think it's just the way we were brought up, really, being of that age. You know, we're both in our early 40s, aren't we, Nick? I think the important thing is that if you talk to somebody, that's all that matters. It might be a mate, it might be a family friend.
You know, it's funny. Things can come sideways at you sometimes, and you find yourself struggling in other areas, but it can be about something else psychologically that happened to you.
Definitely. Well, guys, thank you so much for having a little chat with me. I know you're very busy. Probably want to go get a cup of tea or something now.
We go back straight off stage.
You're going straight back in? Sorry.
The beer's off, so
I really appreciate it. Thank you. And
Cheers,
I think
mate,
it's
nice
amazing to
Pleasure.
see you.
Lovely to see you.
Cheers.
Right, I'm going to let these guys get on with it. But I'm sure tonight's episode will make a huge impact and encourage us men to open up more about mental health. Cheers.
And Jake joins us now.
Do.